Welcome to the Nexus Unloaded podcast. This is Will Crozier.
And I'm Zach Congonis. We are here to bring you the best solutions to your lifting problems. Through our real-world experience, we hope to break things down in a digestible, applicable, and entertaining way.
Oh,
what's this?
Bowser.
Look at his little tuchus. Fuck, he's going to be huge.
Nah, he's not that big.
Look at the shoulders on that rooster.
Yeah, he's Jack size now. He will evolve.
Whoa.
Jack is already much smaller than him.
Yeah, Jack is much smaller than
Jack
him.
is much smaller
Longer though,
than
yeah?
him.
Let's see, he's probably bigger than Jordan.
Yeah, this doesn't have to be in the actual podcast.
Yeah, it can be. Yeah,
They can edit it.
Oh. He said, I'm going to...
Oh!
Yep. He just
Slides on.
He's more than happy to.
Hello.
What a little
Ladies and
sweetie.
I love their feet. Like dogs' feet. Or paws.
If you smell them,
if
they
you
smell
will.
like Pringles.
Nachos. I said this and everyone thought I was weird.
Nah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
What?
Hold on.
Dogs' paws smell like nachos.
There's a bacteria on their feet that make them smell like corn chips or Doritos.
I just let
Yeah.
puppies smell like puppies have a unique kind of shit and piss combination.
Yeah, I'm just scooting Jordan in there.
Okay.
All right, we are good.
Righty, so we can kick it off. We've got Jordan here, we've got Bowser here, we've got the whole crew here. So this is another of our, I don't even know, we didn't even name them, but like meet the coaches, kind of introducing the coaches type episode that we've got going on here. Jordan's the lucky one up today. See how you go. We compare you fiercely against the other people, just purely based on this episode.
Do you have a ranking system?
Mickey does. Mickey does, and it's just
You
I
say
don't.
no, but Mickey does, for sure.
I definitely don't. There's
put
no
a name
favourites
post it
here.
in-
I said
Alrighty,
this to Zach on so
actually-
many occasions. that
actually-
there's
In
no
other
favourites.
episodes.
Well, I want to start this off with an impromptu question for Mickey.
Oh, fuck.
If all of the coaches, excluding Will, were in the gym and the gym started burning down and you only had time to save one, who would you save?
Well, see, this is a hard question because Jordan's the smallest, so therefore easiest to carry out.
Nah.
So,
Hold
and
on,
if I
reckon
have to
Alex
get out
and Jordan
myself,
are of similar weight.
definitely not. Alex has got
think
20
you're
kilos on
underestimating.
little Jordan. Jordan's pocket-sized.
I'm sorry, Alex.
So I'm sure
And
if
Jack,
you're looking at like...
Jack can knock down
well,
walls, so
I have
you
to
just
say,
let him
yeah, Wreck-It
bash
Ralph.
through.
So is Josh. Both of them Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah.
Breaking everything. But...
Josh would only escape if the walls were made of, what are they called? Of tripods.
Plastic. What are the tripods? Plastic walls. Yeah, so if my survival instincts have to kick in here and I have to save myself as well, I'm going to pick the person that's not going to weigh me down the most. Therefore...
So
You'll always
all
justify.
I'm hearing is that the rest of the coaches are dead weight and Jordan's your
Well,
favourite.
see... Like, finding a really good nutrition coach is difficult as well. Like, it's hard to find someone that's a really good nutrition coach too. Like, that just gets you. You know what I mean? So,
Stop digging your hole. Stop digging
But-
your hole.
Yeah, the whole...
Well,
Zach's
Yeah.
been
We'll
with the
move on.
team for a really long time. So, do I have a second backup, like in case
No.
Jordan's actually died
No,
on the
that's
way
not-
out?
That was not the question.
I'd prefer be dead than be sloppy seconds. Like, oh no, Jordan's passed up. Jordan's dead from smoke inhalation. Guess I'll get Zach.
Yeah, Zach's number 2. Only because, like, you might be closer to the door or something, and so therefore,
Yeah.
a vital
You've
part.
ruined it.
Push him out.
It's all right.
Yeah.
We'll move on.
That's
We'll
all
save
right.
you, Mickey.
That's
We'll
answered my
move on to so like we always start these off with all the other coaches. We've had some spectacular swing and misses, and we've had
I'll get the timer.
and we've had some really insightful breakdowns. But it's essentially like this. The premise is just tell us about yourself outside of training, fitness realm.
So many avenues.
There is. It is a lot to cover, but that's why we put a time limit on it, and just so it's 60 seconds.
Tell us who you
Roughly, we do we do allow a bit of play in that. But yeah, just tell us about yourself, who you are, anything you think's relevant.
What
Right,
makes
ready,
Jordan
set it.
For
Jordan?
fitness training
Okay.
related.
Oh
Ready,
my God,
set,
whenever there's a
go.
timer, I get anxious.
It has
Okay.
started.
That's the point.
It's also
So
backwards. I
obviously, I'm
apologise.
going to start in chronological order. When I was a kid, super sporty. I did everything. I dabbled in drama classes. I learnt Japanese all through school. I travelled quite a bit. I love opal hunters. I love air crash investigations. I hate aeroplanes and I hate flying.
Great.
But I love watching them go down on TV.
Important information.
What? I don't know. This is what happens.
No, this is good info.
You
Keep
put
it
a
on.
timer
Keep it
on
on.
and I
No,
just
like
combust.
Like
I love art. I wanted to be an artist for a lot of
can
my
see
life.
that.
But
Yeah.
then I realized, how do you make a living out of art?
Now you're in the art of coaching.
Yes, exactly. I'm a problem solver, if you will.
That's it.
I worked in construction for a bit, which was really fun. Quite random.
Was it?
Right, time's up. You're done.
How's construction
it?
random though?
I feel like
going.
Jordan smoked that.
going.
Can I just say Jordan was the best one yet so
Are you
far?
serious? I literally
way.
crumbled. I was
Alrighty,
like,
so hold on. So what
That's
I
good.
learned from Jordan is that
let's
she
do a
is
recap.
dramatic, likes watching planes combust and have massive amounts of people die, most likely families,
Yeah.
and
Really
thoroughly
interesting.
enjoys bogans pulling rocks out of the dirt.
those opal hunters are very talented. They know
My
about
dad,
geology.
my dad is obsessed with that show. You sound like my father.
Trying to justify why you watch it. Yeah.
All right, well, let's anything else that you feel, any core things that you feel like were missed there?
I don't know. I need some prompts, I guess. I feel like there's a lot to cover.
Some of your skills. List off
My
some of your
skills.
skills. Obviously, artiste.
Even just
Yeah.
like general small talk stuff. Where you're from.
Okay.
What you,
General
what-
small talk.
So I grew up in Melbourne and left like a lot of the population did after lockdowns.
Yeah. Zach somehow
I
Sorry.
got there for
he
them.
fought through. Zach's still locked up.
Always loved being by the ocean, which I guess is why what prompted the move. Love being out in the sun. I guess all of my tattoos are like ocean related or sunshine related or palm tree related. So
That's definitely not true.
What about the fucking chili?
except for the chili. Yeah, that was that was a random one.
And what about like the no, it's not a bison skull. You have some random skull somewhere.
Oh, that's because I'm a Taurus. I've got a bull skull on the back of
See,
my
I've
car.
always said that I haven't got any tattoos because like I'm waiting for like something super important in my life that I feel like needs to be on me forever. Whereas you're just like, oh, chili.
She has a sweating chili on her arm.
Pick your
I
favorite
did-
vegetable.
They started off meaningful, and then as I got older, they just got progressively weirder.
Yeah.
I would
I see
be
that
all
trend.
for Nexus team tattoos, but not the Nexus logo. Just like something.
Well, Caden's put
random.
himself out there as a.
A few people.
Caden is. I will he get free nutrition if he does it?
I don't know what was the timestamp that we put on
I'll
it.
take
Was it
it.
a month or something like that?
I think
We said a month.
month.
I'll have to.
Alex the other day in the gym as well. I think it was not our Alex, but one of the other Alexes. We have multiple Alexes in the gym. Said that if I won Pro Raw, that he would get our logo tattooed on him. I was like, man, the weight class isn't like. I mean, not that they're bad lifters, but I think I'm in with a good shot this year. So I think I'm where
where
like
you need to be for some,
I wouldn't say I'm where I
Would you
need to
put
be.
it as like a tramp stamp? Like, would you say that it needs to be like a Nexus
Yes.
logo tramp
I'll take
stamp?
it anywhere. I mean,
No, we
Yeah.
need to
Well,
build
Caden's
out a
got it on his
chart.
ankle. He's got a zero weakness one on his ankle. So,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, look, Zach, I'm open to getting a random Nexus tattoo if you want some.
But like a raccoon with like a space helmet on,
I'd get that.
like just something like
you would.
that, and
Something
I'm
everyone
waiting
gets
for your
a
bin
different
chicken
animal.
tattoo.
Yeah, bin chicken holding with a hat. It needs
Yeah.
to have a hat.
Yeah.
And does it say mate? Like,
It
hey,
could.
mate.
I
It
got
could.
it. Did you see the
That's
coffee
fair.
mug that I got for her? Had been chillin' on it with
Yeah, I saw
a
that.
ibis holding a VB beer
Been chilling.
sitting on top of
They're
a bin.
just really awkward creatures, and I really respect that, and I love them for it.
So
What's
Yeah.
your number one favorite thing about an ibis?
The the best is like when they fly and they come to land. It's like they don't know how to control their body, and then when they like see someone, they try awkwardly like run away. They're just so awkward.
So
insights of Jordan's brain.
Yes,
you resonate with the plight of the ibis.
100%.
I'm very pro ibis as well. Always loved them.
Their
like I was
beaks
like,
always freak
people
me
always
out.
like, oh, eagle, majestic animals. I just think the ibis is right up there.
Just watch them when they land, and when they drink water, they have to like go from the side and open their beaks to like drink.
How long have you spent watching ibises?
Evolved. Smart evolution too, that long nose. And get deep right in that bin.
It's nice and pointed. The reason why it's curved is to make a bigger gash out of the bin bag.
And as Zach said previously, like the cane toe thing, I still haven't fact-checked that, and nor do I plan on fact-checking it all, but I'll reference it absolutely.
I don't think we've fact-checked a single thing on this podcast ever.
That bin chickens can eat cane toads.
Cane toads, yeah. Apparently they wash them.
Aren't they poisonous?
Yeah, apparently they wash them, and then they eat their tum-tum first.
They're so smart.
Yeah, that could be completely false, but we're
I
going
believed it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I heard it on something. Oh, fucking no.
Yeah.
Love that.
I saw it on a random Instagram reel made by a fake account, so it has to be.
One of those meme accounts.
That's how I learned about training, just,
That's true.
just
That's
trust
all
strangers on the internet. So the next one is kind of like leading us into, like we said, not about the fitness industry and that little take, but like telling us about how you actually got into fitness and how you, what led you to where you are today, coaching nutrition essentially. But like just talking about your journey through fitness and then like what got you interested in helping others, like whether that was part of the other jobs and
Yeah. Cool. Okay. I guess like a lot of the other coaches here growing up, I did a lot of different sports. I swam, I did cross country, I did
orienteering.
No, I can't read a map, so...
Oh, damn. Josh has got us on that. It's the one thing that is like claim to fame. But yeah, anyway.
Well, yeah, like when someone asked me where north was, I said up. And I remember I told Josh and he was like, bro.
They went, at school, they're like marking off like what you're good at and you just say that and they're like, yeah, not that one. Taking it off the list of jobs that rely on navigation.
Yeah, can't navigate.
Can't drive very well either.
Yeah, that scares me. Parking scares me.
A car's built for people your size, or you have to like modify it?
There are
Put a
some
booster seat in?
cars, like you need a specific way to get in. Like you have to touch the handle to help like pull and then like swing in.
Yeah, you would never have like a high car, like a big four-drive or something.
Like I kind of want to drive one just for a laugh, but I don't think I could own one.
You have to have like a parachute to get out.
Yeah, I need like a cushion, a special cushion to sit on. Like,
and then you need one of those ones that have the step that like folds out as you open the door.
Yeah.
So you can step up and step
Mikki
in.
used to have a big ass Jeep. It was a pain in the ass. You had to fucking climb that.
So badass.
Had a big lift kit and gigantic oversized tyres on it.
More about
stuff
convenience.
Like
I don't give a shit.
I drove around in
Why does that not shock me? I can just imagine Mikki with like a backwards cap on and some sunglasses and a fucking
There was
big
in a
Jeep.
Cobra.
Road rage.
Get out of the way, you virgins.
Yeah, I was like proper country. I had a
that's
big,
so cool.
big 4-wheel driving, like custom modded up Jeep with when I worked in construction. I worked in construction with me a Cobra and my aviators and stuff. Yeah, good times. While school drove around in a Golf.
Yeah, I was all over it.
That's why
All
Mikki
about
and Jordan
convenience.
resonate.
Easy.
Love
Yeah,
it.
continue your fitness industry.
Oh yeah. So I did lots of sports.
The journey.
But I always found that like height was somewhat of an issue as I got better at.
It
Like,
is a requirement of most sports.
yeah, like swimming straight off the blocks, you're at a disadvantage. Like,
Huge.
Yep.
Basketball, clearly not there.
No. Oh, believe it or not, I was a goal attack in netball. Yes, and they left me there for a while, and then it got to the point where they were like, "Yeah, look, like."
Wait, hold on. A goal attack?
Yeah,
she's fierce.
I just
Jesus.
run. I just run, and those
Spell
tall,
rolling.
lanky people were like, "Where did she go?"
Hey.
Have you ever nutmegged someone with yourself?
Have I what?
Ever nutmegged someone with yourself?
What is nutmeg?
Like,
It's when you're playing soccer and you kick the ball through their legs.
oh,
But
I
has-
actually played soccer. Yeah, I did that.
But have you nutmegged somebody?
As in, like,
Without the
I
ball.
gone
You
through their
tunneled through.
legs. No,
Like, have you tunnel-legged anyone? Never in any
No.
situation.
I don't-
Like, get out of danger. Just like, look over
just
there.
run between.
Give me your wallet. No. Boop.
This is going full cartoon mode. This is like going like, this is Bugs Bunny shit now.
I've never done that. Well, I did play soccer as well growing up, actually. I add that to the list.
Yeah.
And then eventually
I did one season of soccer.
Did you?
Yeah, I found it really boring. I picked the grass. That's what Mum said. She's like, we just did one season, and apparently all I did was just like pick the flowers on the field and that because I was so fucking bored. And then she's like, we took you out of it and put you back in footy after that.
To be fair, it's such a low-scoring sport that I don't
I
understand.
think as a kid as well, because they don't really understand how to pass the ball around. So I would have just been, I don't know what position I was. I don't remember.
And
it,
you would have
but-
been such a quiet little loser as well.
Yeah,
so like,
absolutely.
there's no
I
chance
just would have
that
been out there just like,
passing the ball to you.
fucking,
Who's this quiet little kid?
And then I guess I did lots of HIIT, endurance running, and I didn't really enjoy any of it. And then I found strength training through a friend who was a coach at the time. So she literally just...
powerlifting coach or?
No,
Straight to
just
strength coach.
general. Yeah. So she introduced me to strength training, and I would train in secret in my parents' garage for years after that. So I never actually went to a gym.
One of those people like,
secretly?
I was scared of
dark.
the gym.
it's one of those like it's the scene in Batman with Bane, and he's just like chipping away in darkness, just waiting for the day to arise.
It was like this dingy garage. It was fucking so cold in winter, and in summertime it was like so hot. But I was just there with my Rebel Sport like set, like, you know, bicep curling and like
The pink dumbbells.
nah.
Headband.
These were
Like
like
the spin lock ones.
yeah,
The
you know the
where
ones.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And then I think it got to a point where I still wasn't where I wanted to be, and I actually had no idea about nutrition at all my whole life. And it's not like my family really had a good idea of like nutrition either.
Because
Like,
your
so-
parents are active, though. Like, they're fit, active people.
Yeah. Sorry, mum and dad. But, like, I guess their families migrated from, like, Italy and Malta, and then growing up, you know, they were blue-collar, like, workers. And then mum and dad just, like, worked, you know, full-time. So growing up, like, it's not like they had time to, like, make nice meals for us and stuff. So it was very just, like...
Meat and 3 veg.
Oh, minestrone soup. I literally just lived off soup for, like, a lot of my childhood. And then I guess when it got to the point where I could cook for myself, I was like, I literally don't know, like,
How to cook.
how to cook or what to eat.
My sister didn't know how to make rice with a rice cooker.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
I didn't know how to cook any, because especially for me, it was drawn out even longer because mum and dad cook for you when you're at home, and then so that carries you through to like 18, and then I left and joined defence, and then defence essentially just look after you as well.
Yeah.
So like, like I was like, I don't even know, but like low
Early
20s.
20s, yeah.
Just like, how do you
Now
cook
is-
like any, like, what do you do with meat? Like, just, what do you...
Yeah. How do you know when the chicken's cooked? Like,
Yeah, I had no idea. I was in the same boat. So I was messaging my mum like, man.
Yeah.
Ma'am, help. Now when Will's stomach grumbles, he just goes, Mikki. That's what his
No,
stomach
Will
says.
cooks his own
Murker.
food now. Thank
I
you
used to
very
just
much.
live off a George. I pretty much just bought a George Foreman and a rice cooker, and that was like all I ever used. It was just those two things.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's all you need.
Staples.
Just cut up the steak.
Yep.
Some rice.
Chicken
Frozen
breast on a George
vegetables.
Foreman.
Yeah, you can do anything, George Foreman. He's all over it.
So, obviously, from there, you wanted to learn about nutrition so that you could become
Yeah.
master chef.
Improve.
Get bigger.
Just improve my like self and my lifting and just general health. Because like, when I started full time work, I didn't really have a lot of time to exercise, and then I kind of sitting down quite a lot. I was still active, but then I kind of didn't feel 100% like fantastic about myself. So then I was like, okay, like I need to sort my own nutrition out. And so my friend who also was doing my programming, like she kind of started teaching me about calories and macros, and I started like learning like through podcasts and then just experimenting with my own nutrition. But I just found it really fascinating because I found like it was this area that a lot of people just didn't understand. And it's not like in school, like we never did nutrition at school.
Yeah, and there's a ton of myths.
Yeah.
You know, like you fire up the TV, and like the news channel is broadcasting about this new fucking gluten-free diet
Yeah.
or some shit. Like it's just so much misinformation.
Yeah. And I feel like I did a lot of dumb stuff as well growing up.
We all did.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Oh.
now, yeah.
100%.
Like I look back and I was like, what? Why? Why you
But
do
I feel like
this?
you have to do that in order to establish some form of growth and, you know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah, yeah. So, started learning more, reading podcasts, and then it got to the point where, like, I was working, I was doing well in my career at the time, but I just kind of always had this passion for just fitness and health. And like even when I was doing my like master's degree, I did it in like health communication because health was always just something I really just enjoyed. But I was like, no, like this is my job. Like I've invested so much time in uni, like I need to just do this. And then
Super common story.
yeah, like it's kind of that stupid like trade off, like, oh, but I've invested all my time in this career and like I should just do it. But then it got to COVID where I was like so unhappy, like super, super, super unhappy. And I was like, okay, like,
Sitting behind a desk sending emails.
yeah. And it was a really stressful
Jourdain?
job. Oh my God.
Jourdain.
This chick that I worked with, she kept spelling my name wrong. And I was like, bro, it's in my signature. Like I said, I'm like, you've spelt my name wrong. And then she kept doing it. And I called her and I said, look, like this is really frustrating. You're spelling my name
Now
wrong.
she's listening to this going like, gotcha.
Yeah, what's her name? You should name and shame her.
You probably don't even remember.
She
her
had a
name.
weird name too. And I was like, bitch, I'm like full spelling your name right. Like,
Okay, Jaquise. Is it so hard to spell Jordan right?
anyway, like, yeah, the whole, like, the emails, working for the government, like, it just got too much. It was really stressful, and I was like, nah, I need to do something different.
It was more like it wasn't as fulfilling, right?
Yeah, it wasn't fulfilling, but there's a lot of similarities. Like, I was problem solving a lot in my last job, but a different type of problem solving. It was like working with construction teams in the community to help make infrastructure projects a lot less intense on the people living around them, and like, yeah, that's a really weird way of explaining it, but
No, I get, and then it's then obviously, like, I guess that was the point where you started to put stuff up on social media, started to put yourself out there to get
Like,
clients,
just started.
yeah. So
and then that's when we reached out.
yeah, funny story. So I was like, I did my first initial lot of studies, and then I started working with friends, and just, you know, when you start out, you work with friends and you help family.
Guinea pigs.
Yep. And then I had like a social media account that I was just like dabbling in on the side. And then I remember Mikki like sent me a DM. She slid into my DMs.
I did.
And
I've been stalking you for a little while though.
Were you?
Yeah, I was. I spent, like, I could tell you before we brought Jordan on, like, I was spending a good, like, probably 2 or 3 months just like I was.
Creeping.
Yeah, I creep.
Lots of people though. It wasn't just like
Well, bringing
Just
someone on
Jordan.
board. So bringing someone on board Nexus, obviously it's not a decision that we take lightly. You know what I mean? Like, this person is a direct reflection of your company and what you work really, really hard to have built, and the respect and the authority and all that sort of stuff. So bringing someone into that environment and telling others that, hey, I trust this person and you should trust them too. That's, for me, that's a really big commitment. It's not something I take lightly. And obviously training staff is so time consuming, right? Like, it is, because obviously I don't just work with Jordan, I work with Kirby, I help with Zach, I help all of the coaches. It's not just one individual. And so I needed to make sure that this person was someone that I felt like I could trust, that respected what we were building, and that was putting out information that I was like, you know, it's relatable. Like, I was like, yeah, this is good quality stuff. This person clearly knows what they're talking about. So I do a lot of vetting, and
we're looking for somebody to join the team, not just like who's the smartest person out.
no, I don't care about who's the
far from
smartest
what-
person. We can train that. It's who
I'm
they
a
are
testament
as
to
a
that.
person. Yeah, who they are as a person is far more important to me than what they know, because I can teach them stuff, but I can't teach a good attitude. So
There you go.
there's
Right
Jordan.
attitude.
I slid into Jordan's DMs, which you were not expecting at all.
no, so like when I moved up here, my dream, like I knew my dream job was like somehow working as a nutrition coach, living by the beach, and then kind of like aligning with a powerlifting gym. And I remember coming up here and I was like, someone needs to open a powerlifting gym in the South. And I was like, Jared, like, maybe this is a good business idea. And then, like, honestly, and then you
Literally, if you did that, terrible idea.
because I said to him, seriously, every idea I have, like I said like a few months back, I was like, someone needs to open a Yochi up. And then Broadbeach, they opened Yochi. And I was like, they beat me to the frozen yogurt game. Anyway, I know. So
Every idea.
Just everyone's stealing your ideas.
I know. But yeah, Mikki reached out to me, and I remember reading it, and I left it for like a few hours because I was like, is this person real? And then like I like stalked you and stuff, but I was like, is this a joke? Like, is someone messing with me?
Because it is random. Like, I'll have to scroll back through if we can go that far and actually read the first initial message
There's
that I
no
sent
way.
you. But it was just like, no, you couldn't now because our fucking feeds are like meow. But yeah, it was just something along the lines of like, hey, like, I really love what you're doing. I love the message that you're spreading. And I know this is probably a bit of a random slide into your DMs, but we are looking for a new nutrition coach, and I'd love the opportunity to be able to chat to you and just find out whether or not this is something that you'd be interested in exploring.
Yeah.
And I think I left it pretty simple.
Yeah. And then obviously like I stalked
She left me
you
on red.
just for a few hours to mull. Like I was mulling, and then I stalked next. I
Had to
like
go back into a cave down in the basement.
Yeah, she turned the lights off to contemplate silently.
but no, then I went and did my own stalking. I was like, okay, like, who's this business? Like, what's going? Is it real? Like, and I'm like, oh shit, like, it's fucking like legit. And then I was like, what's to lose? So then I remember we met up in like burly heads, and like in
Yeah.
the back of my head, I'm like, it's a really busy area, like nothing weird, like I'll be safe.
Getting kidnapped.
Gonna get
Little Jordan just
This is
sitting
the life
there
when
and
you're
it's
when you're
like
5 foot tall. You have to think about kidnappings at all
4'9".
times.
It's a genuine
410.
All of your day, you're just sitting there worrying, I could get kidnapped at any moment.
Well, that's why I started running. I was scared.
There's the truth into the fitness industry. Fair enough. Yeah, but then that
Then
leads us
Will
today.
rocks up with a little cradle and he's like, "Hello, little lady."
I've got candy
My
in
van.
the gym.
But yeah, we are. So that leads us today. So you've got like a pretty full roster of people.
Very full.
Of powerlifters and other strength athletes,
Yep.
just gen pop,
Yep.
from small ladies to huge guys lifting big weights. So
Yep.
quite a,
Diverse mix.
well, going from like, coaching a couple of friends to that in
Yeah.
a pretty short amount of time.
It was
It's not because it's not like you started fresh though. Like you said, you've been studying nutrition and well educated for ages, but
Yeah. Well, and as
still
well too, I
actually
think
doing it different.
the good thing was just being able to talk to people and having that job in comms
Yeah,
prior
yeah.
helped a lot.
Yeah, communication is such a big part of it, especially nutrition.
I grill everyone on it.
Like fuck, anybody knows like, oh, eating veggies and protein, not a bad idea, good thing. But then actually like getting someone to do it, like anybody can give anyone macros, like, or whatever, or anybody in mine and Zach's world, anybody can go like, here's a program that's not terrible, but it's like getting people to do it and to put in the right amount of effort and to not have it fuck up their lives and balance and stuff. That's the key. Same with nutrition. It's hard.
And
You've got
also,
to integrate it.
like asking questions and listening. Like,
What are
I
the
know-
right questions?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like in comms, you're like a good comms person talks less and they just listen more.
Yep.
So it's like, listening to people.
Yeah,
and
coaching's
stuff.
very similar.
Yeah.
No, I just talk.
Just tell them.
People just listen. I'm like, so that was a big tangent, but did you take anything out of that? They're like,
Actually,
if
yeah,
they
I
can't
talk a lot.
reply, there's no problems. That's it. And if you just steamroll them, then it's like, goodbye.
Bye-bye.
So what do you love about your job now? Like after spending time coaching such a diverse
Yeah.
range of competitive and not competitive, and
It's been over
people,
a year now.
What's the? I mean, there's so many things we would have learned. I feel like that's such a
Well, the thing is, and I actually did a
barrel
post on,
question.
I actually did a story on this when I talked about like Zach's 5-year anniversary with working with us, and the fact that Jordan's role initially was just coaching, right? Like just getting the skills and the
it's
confidence
diversified a
and
little
that.
bit, for
And now to make the role more fulfilling for you, it's about like offering up other things that we can be doing to, tick a few other boxes and not just solely be like nutrition coaching all the time. Because like it can be a lot taking on other, other people's.
But is it like what you expect? Like you wanted to coach people in nutrition and everything? Like is it what you expected? Are there parts of the job that you just did not expect whatsoever?
This random thought just came into my head. But like, imagine if I turned to you and I said, "I hate it." Like, what would you do?
Awkward podcast.
Sorry, nah. Just
The
like
joke would have
imagine.
been much
I'm
funnier.
sure there's
if you
parts of
just
it. You can't love every fucking
No,
second of it. But
I honestly get a lot of enjoyment because I feel like it gives me a purpose, like watching other people improve like their quality of life or just feel better. I know it sounds mushy, but that's like the core part of it that I enjoy.
fulfillment. It's fulfilling.
Yeah, it's really like amazing to see. And then I love watching other people like kill it. I'm just like, yes, like amazing.
Health has always been a big one for me. Like, because people go like, oh, so amazing, like coaching this person to a world record and stuff. And that is a really good feeling. Like you go like, oh, like, wow, like we achieved that. But like somebody improving their health and going like, I used to, my knees were so bad that I couldn't play with my kids or whatever, and now I can, or whatever. Like my health has gotten way better. Like my blood pressure's way down, and it's changed my life. Like that shit is.
Well, like
it's heartwarming.
Vince was in here the other day, and we had it was like 45 minutes. He was just blowing smoke up your ass the whole time.
Good man.
I
told him to do that.
he sent so many clients. He sent so many clients over to Jordan as well. So shout out Vince. Like he is an incredible
man.
client. He's a good man.
Prepping at the moment for
Old dogs.
pro old dogs.
Yep.
Champion.
And he was just saying he's like the impact that you have made. He's seen it firsthand, not just from what he's experienced, but like seeing other people that he's coaching himself and the change in just who they are as a person, the way that they walk into the gym and they hold themselves and they carry themselves. He's like, it's just astronomical, like the changes that you've made on other people's lives. And I said to him, I was like, make sure that you tell Jordan that, because as a coach, like, don't get me wrong, like, obviously we know that, like, you know, there's good and bad days in everyone's life, and you do kind of absorb a lot of those bad days, I find. Like, when you're going through a lot, like, and they're taking it out on you, or they're just having a vent as to what's been going on, and you're trying to problem solve that. You don't always hear the wins. You know what I mean? Like, you hear the wins when they're like, oh, this went really well and that went really well, but you don't always hear the whole, like, this is, like, as a result of what you've been doing for me. And I, you know, just not that we're asking for praise all the time and asking for a thank you, but I just think it's really nice to hear as a coach sometime that it's like, yeah, this person may always be kind of focusing on the things that haven't necessarily gone so well, or what they could be doing better or differently.
Like Jordan said, we're problem solvers, so we're always hearing about the problems and the next thing to improve and the next thing to improve. It can definitely be, and in your own training, you can get caught up in that. You always remember the fucking squat you missed over all the squats that you hit.
Yeah. And, like, I think for me, too, I'm always constantly like, oh, have I done enough for this person? Like, should I do better? Can I do more? Like, that's just...
Jordan's always done too much.
That never goes away. Never goes away.
And so, I
Jordan
feel like...
does too much. I tell her. I'm like, Jordan, stop it. Stop it.
So let's, unless you have more to add, I think we fire into Zach's.
Oh, no.
And usually I get to... Because usually me and Zach really, really roughly plan these. They don't really...
Can I just quickly interject, though? At the start of this, Jordan mentioned that she speaks Japanese.
Bokawa Zakdes.
Do you still speak Japanese? Like, can you speak Japanese?
I can count to 10, that's it.
So, I can read hiragana. I can understand a bit of katakana. Kanji's lost me. I know some random words, but the one sentence that I will always remember is "Toire ni ite mo ii desu ka?" And that is, can I please go to the toilet? Because in class, I got used to hate sitting down. I'd be like, can I just go to the toilet? And, like, the teacher would be like, oh, she asked me in Japanese. Yes, go to the toilet.
You've gone for 45 minutes.
I just, like, walk around for a bit. Like,
I learned that in Spanish when we went to Spain. I had to learn where is the toilet because Will, like, didn't speak a word of Spanish.
And I don't get...
and he'd look at me. He doesn't even do well with accents that speak
No, I was about
English.
to say, like, if somebody has a slight accent and they speak in, like, plain English, I'm like, fuck are you? Like, what? And, like, I have such trouble understanding anything.
How do you understand Zach?
I hardly understand the words that you write, Zach, but the speaking's all right.
I find that so funny. It's like when Jared, like, hangs out with my, like, WOG, like, grandparents.
Yeah.
Like, they're, like,
I would have no idea what
in
they're
a
saying.
blend, and he's just like...
Translate for me. But, yeah, I learned, like, donde está el baño, which is, where is the toilet? Baño is toilet. So I learned that in Spanish. I never knew what they said.
Just taught me that one word. I would have been fine with one word.
Baño.
Just yell toilet at people.
Okay.
Baño.
If you're standing there screaming toilet at people, they get the point.
Like, you're ordering coffee. You're just like,
Toilet.
There's a good tip for anybody traveling. Just learn toilet instead of the whole sentence. Save yourself some time.
Yeah, but then they'd speak back to you in Spanish, and then he'd look at me and he's like,
yeah, just point, motherfucker.
Then you just learn, I don't understand, which is wakarimasen.
Then you learn a sentence, the sentence saying, I don't know
sentence.
anything more, and then a sentence saying, that's the only thing that I can say. Then you blank.
this is the thing, like, every time I speak with Jordan, there's some weird new thing that comes out. I'm like, so now you speak Japanese. Like, when she was telling us that she played instruments, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you play instruments? Like, I can
forgot to
draw.
mention that.
Oh, yeah, I'm making a gingerbread house this year. I'm like, what? You make gingerbread houses? That's fucking sick.
Just random skills. I like it. Do a backflip?
No.
That's on the
Can
list.
you dunk?
No. I mean, I played goal attack. I can shoot from range. But
Zach
I
would have
can't dunk.
absolutely given up if you could dunk. If you
That's
could
it.
dunk,
If
there would just would have
Jordan
been...
can dunk, I have to take up golf.
Golf is hard. Anyway, let's hit it. So yeah, what I was saying was usually I somewhat get to like read over Zach's question because usually we really roughly plan an episode, but these I actually haven't heard at all, so I haven't got a chance to vet these at all. So they might be
These are fantastic.
Cancelled?
okay.
Nah, they're not super bad, but
Okay.
they increase in levels. So the first one is, can you name the specific cereal at the shops that you can't reach? And look, they all revolve around your height. Like, all of Josh's revolved around the fact that he was clearly a silly duffer, and he was definitely not from Gryffindor. All of Alex's questions revolved around the fact that his heart's as reliable as a two-legged horse with half a cock. Your questions will be around your height. So what...
We love you, Jordan.
Okay.
What
God.
can't
There's
you
no
reach?
bullying here.
Well, I only buy rolled oats, and they're right at the bottom.
But is that why you only buy them?
No, I'm basic, but the bonsai is really high up, and like one time there was like one bonsai left, and it was right at the back, and I had to ask someone, and he's like, "Aww," and I was like, "Motherfucker, just get me the bonsai. It's so embarrassing."
I will end
with you,
you.
baby.
He's like, "Aww."
You see little Jordan like,
Sir, bonsai, uppies.
oh, poor Jordan.
So bonsai. So you can't reach the bonsai.
Yeah.
That's-
Not
Hard
quite
life.
breakfast, but you could. You could eat.
It's
You
go
could
for
have. Would you have gone with almond milk? Because almond milk's usually a little bit lower down the
I
bonsai.
hate almond milk.
Well, almonds ain't got no titties. What are you actually drinking?
Sorry, almonds.
I'm sure there's a science. I'm sure there's a real reason behind that. But
Okay, second question. Where have you fit?
Where have I fit?
Like
Like
small,
the
like
oddest
weird.
place that you've squeezed
Play
yourself
hide and
into
seek
or
when
fit
Jordan plays
into?
hide and seek.
When I was in construction, they were like installing new like pipes, and they were like, "Jordan, go stand in the pipe."
you know, those pictures. You know what I'm picturing is like, you know, on a mine site, how they have like huge trucks.
Yeah.
Like ones that are just like absolutely massive. Whatever.
And there's a man standing
they
next to
put
it.
a guy next to it and he goes to like a quarter of the way out the wheel and everybody's like, wow, that's such a big truck. Like they should use you to like emphasize the side of trucks. Like, yeah, they just get a normal truck and stand you next to it and everybody's like, wow, look at the size of that truck.
Well, Jordan's what we use when we need to test height things in the gym here.
Yeah. Like if we need
Like,
to put a
can you
height,
reach
put a
the
fan
5
on.
Yeah, can you reach the 5 kilo plates?
Yeah.
Everyone was like, no, it's too high. We don't put the 5 kilos at the top. I'm like, no, like it needs to be in order. Like, so Jordan was our guinea pig for that, and she gets up on her tippy toes on the deadlift platform.
That's it.
Can
Gets
reach
it.
the 5 kilo plates. Like a
Work
big
my
girl.
calves in the process.
Yeah,
She's an
big girl.
independent. She's an independent woman.
She don't mean no man in her life.
So a pipe, it was just a normal pipe, like a big, like a
like a-
How big
sewage
was the
thing?
pipe?
Oh, I can stand in it, but like basically the pipe now resides under Rosanna Station in Melbourne, so I fit
Yeah.
into that pipe.
You've been there. What a holiday
It's an
destination.
awkward spot.
Yeah,
That's good to know.
yeah.
It's good to know. Alrighty, and the last one I honestly haven't even thought through, so this is going to be an absolute
Oh, God.
disaster. So the
Okay.
question is, what animal could you successfully fight? And I'm going to start listing animals from
Okay.
small and increasingly
Okay.
increase the
savage.
size
Yeah.
until you
What's
feel
success?
Well, what's the success? Like she could kill the
Do I need
animal.
to kill it or just like knock it out?
What weapons do I have?
incapacitate or restrain successfully.
Okay.
With your bare hands.
Okay.
Yeah. So, a mouse,
I mean, I wouldn't like it, but yes, I could
Yep.
do that.
a possum.
Ooh. I don't want to get rabies, but I could do it.
So you'd be
rabies.
Oh, this
you'd
is
be
no holds
confident.
barred. This is for your life.
Okay, fine.
Yeah,
Yes.
you could fight a possum if you really had to.
do
Yeah.
it.
I don't think anybody would
I
want
just
to,
wouldn't
but
want to
yeah.
look at it in the eye because they're cute.
You don't
right?
like
Fine.
things
Those
with
are the
eyes,
things
though.
that are assholes.
Faces.
Yeah, they're vicious.
Okay, so you could beat a possum.
Yep.
A large owl.
Ooh, yeah, I reckon an hour. I could
Pretty
take an
confident?
hour. Yep.
Okay, we'll get harder. A pelican.
The beak spot, like I do have to like grab it by the beak and like kick it. Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah.
You could beat a pelican.
Yeah.
All right.
Life or death, you could.
Come on, throw some savage beasties out there.
I think it
These
doesn't
are
wanna
like
get too
street
big. You
animals.
You can't go lion from the start.
All right. A good-sized mastiff.
like a
A dog.
Dane, like a big dog.
Like a mastiff, like a relatively large mastiff. Maybe
Well,
like
like-
40 kilos.
Was it aggressive? Like, is it angry?
It's trying to eat you.
Yeah, it's a fight to the death.
Have you seen Cujo?
No.
Don't bring up Cujo again. We don't need to hear about the rabies dog
No,
again.
so a moderate-sized mastiff is smaller than a Saint Bernard, but larger than a Staffy.
Look, it might get me on body weight, but I feel like if I was fighting for my life, like maybe like the crazy would come out. Yeah, I could
Okay.
take that.
They're teetering the edge
She's
now.
a
Take a
savage.
mastiff.
Yeah.
Honey badger.
Oh,
Isn't that back the other way? Surely that's
Honey
not.
badgers have killed all of
I
you.
would prefer fight a dog than a honey badger.
Honey
Hands
badgers are
down.
pretty savage little beasties.
the honey badger might get me. Maybe. What's
Honey
next?
badgers
I just want to know what's next then. Like, what's next?
I
So
didn't
can-
have what's next.
Okay,
I'm
well,
just
then-
Making
He
shit
was
up
just
on the
making
spot.
animals
calling
up.
animals. I'm just naming animals. Honey badger. So we
Giraffe.
found one. Honey badger.
honey badger would take me.
And then actually the last one,
Okay.
Alex.
Oh, that
you
would
and
be
Alex
interesting.
fight to the death.
Like, if he really pissed me off, I could have him, maybe. But I don't know, Alex. I'm sorry. I'm not sure.
Alex is the desk gimp, so
I have small man syndrome, so I'd like to think I would win.
Jordan is secretly
Come up
really
with tactics
competitive.
in your head. Like, oh yeah, I could just
Yeah.
kick him in the ankle.
I'm
and then-
low-key very competitive.
Just kick him square in the chest,
Aw.
like fly kick him.
Oh, fuck it.
No.
I thoroughly think we should have like a Nexus performance bonding weekend. And you know, like in the really shitty movies, or like in The Office, where he took them all to the lake and competed in shit challenges.
Yeah.
We should do that and film it.
Well, me and Jared,
Like
my
walk
partner,
over the coals
like
and stuff. Yeah.
we like literally fight. Like we're like got this thing where like I want to beat him in a fight, so we kind of just like fight.
Do it.
Like play wrestle.
Like actually wrestle, but like it's not like anything like that. Like
not
literally,
playful.
Oh,
like
Jared. Do you just like,
Jump
you're
on
just
him.
walking
Also-
around and then you're like, ha!
yeah, but like
Ninja.
strictly away from comp prep, we're not allowed because I'm like you can't risk that. But any other time, I'm like,
Do you just
I
like
wanna
put him
beat
in a
you.
headlock?
Yeah, we like literally grapple, like full blown. I want to like beat
Give him
him.
a
Do you do BJ? Have you ever done BJJ? Or
No,
anything like
but
that?
I thought about it.
Yeah, there we go. Then you'll get Will in a headlock.
Armbar.
Yeah.
You know that one that
Could
they
you
do with
could
the
do you
arm
reckon you
behind
could
the
like
back?
fit your
That
arm
one?
around Will's like head?
Probably not.
Yeah, it has got a big head.
I'm just like looking. Nah.
I've always thought if somebody wanted to tap me out real quick, the arm behind the back thing that they do, that one would get me straight away because I have no mobility.
They wouldn't
Yeah.
even have to pull
Snap
it
it.
back too far. They'd like pull it
They
like
pull it-
slightly. They'd slightly extend it.
Yeah.
Done.
Oh,
Let me go.
100%. I'm out.
Yeah,
I'm out. It goes slightly behind my back. I'm out.
yeah, tapped out because you dislocate your shoulder for sure. Yes,
Not
little
fun.
Bowsy here is dead asleep. He's
Where's
done
your
some
start
smelly
sleep?
farts today. But
He
It is
full
what it
pooed,
is.
pooed on the floor.
yeah, that's my boy.
Highlight of the day.
He's not toilet trained.
I mean, if you're going to consult the Bristol stool chart,
Actually,
She did.
I did.
did you? What
was
did you
good.
rate it?
It was a pretty good poop. Like 3 to 4. Like
Was
you know,
it a good
normal-
poo?
It was a good
pretty
one.
good poop.
It was. It was solid.
For a
Well,
puppy.
he had diarrhea yesterday, and he's been vomiting lately because I think he's just a little bit stressed with the move. Like, obviously, we've literally just adopted him, so I think it's just been a little bit overwhelming for poor little baby Bowser. But yeah, cute little mascot. He may be smaller than you still, though. You could have him. You could have him on size.
I couldn't fight him. He was so sweet.
Jordan would lose to Bowser.
Yeah.
Rawr. Getcha.
Cool.
That
Scary.
is the end of my questions.
Leave
Alright,
it there.
Thank you.
That's
Good
good.
job.
Thank you very much, Zach. Thank you, Jordan, for coming on board. Obviously, small little plug here. We do, of course, have our powerlifting nutrition course coming out starting 6th of February. Jordan is thrilled to be presenting in this one, aren't you? We
Lovely.
haven't talked about it yet, but she's going to be presenting in it. She knows that. So we're going to have a bit of a chat over
Yeah.
the presentations of it all. 5 weeks. It is available now, so jump on to the Nexus Performance website. There'll be links below in the show notes of this. So it's starting on the 6th of February. It is $300 for 5 weeks. Within that, we're going to get a bunch of pre-recorded content, and it'll also be live presentations and the
Chat.
Discord chat as well. So all of the Nexus coaches, nutrition coaches are going to be in there and available to answer any of your questions as they kind of come up. So we've had a really good influx
Yeah.
of people jumping
It's not
in
just
there
like
so
a
far.
calories protein course. It's more of a
No.
like performance nutrition, how to make your sessions better, how to recover better.
Well, Jordan's been
how
doing
to
some of the little
make
sales
weights.
emails for this. So
Yeah.
give us your little sales pitch, Jordan. Give us your
Oh no! Now I'm turning into the potato again. You put me on the spot.
60-second pitch.
That's why writing. See,
What's-
everybody
well,
has their
just-
format.
Because Jordan joined in on the very first intake that we did a little while ago. What were some of the core takeaways that you had as a now and apply in your nutrition coaching?
Yeah. Well, I just found like there was nothing that I'd seen beforehand that was so powerlifting specific. Down to like periodization, when to recommend to do this, or how to align your nutrition with your training properly, and then like comp prep in particular. Then looking at like, I'm really excited this how we're adding in an extra like
Component.
component about like peak week, because I feel like everyone talks about like comp prep, and then it's kind of like that last week when you're like, I'm not really training, I'm not doing much, like what do I do? And people freak out.
Yeah,
They're like,
yeah.
oh, like how do I eat? They just like forget
Performance
like what to do.
nutrition in general isn't. I mean, it's clearly talked about, but I mean, it's it's not what you hear about. Like if I switched on the news and if there was a story about nutrition, it's going to be about fat loss.
Oh,
100%.
it's like fasting.
Yeah. It's all revolves
My name
around
is
physique
Tracy
and fat
Grimshaw.
loss. So,
Oh,
That's why
Tracy.
fasting is important.
yeah. It's performance nutrition and in particular related to strength sports, powerlifting is just not really.
Well, I
It's a
had a
niche.
perfect example. I actually had a call with a client today. Shout out Paul. He,
fucking Paulie.
Yeah,
What a
Paulie
good
is doing
lad.
a strongman comp in Townsville, Tamworth, this weekend, and he's well over a kilo under his weight class already. He's got a 24-hour weigh-in. And he's got a few days off before work. So obviously we talked about the strongman events. It's slightly different to powerlifting, and what sort of food
So
choices he
stupid.
can have available for those 5 events, what type of events they are, when to be eating what.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing he asked me, he's like, all right, well, like, is there anything I need to do this week? Like,
Yeah.
is there anything you think I should be eating before here? And what about this? And what about that? I'm like, you're over a kilo under your weight class. You've got a few days off before your competition to chill out and relax, to prep your food and pack your bags and stuff like that. And
It's more about what not to do at that point.
I was like,
don't fuck it up.
yeah, that's exactly what I said to him. I was like, unless you're a complete dickhead in these next couple of days, there's nothing you need to worry about, man.
Yeah.
Just take it easy.
But there are some
relax.
recommendations.
Of course, yeah, I did suggest a few things to him, but overall, I was like, don't overthink it. Don't get in your head. Just go in there and have a good day. Like, there's a lot less pressure on him at that point, whereas previous preps we've done, he's had weight cuts or things like that, and he's like, should I be doing this? And what about this? And what about that?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
don't worry about it, man.
Yeah.
We're cruising in now.
Yeah.
So just talking about that and
Relax.
navigating those sorts of conversations and trains of thought as well. So I'm really excited about this.
Me too. I just loved it. I remember loving it when I first did it. I'm not just saying that because I'm sitting on the couch with you guys right now.
But it did make a big impact if you are a powerlifting or a strength nutrition coach.
Yeah.
It definitely teaches you a lot of things that it amazes me when I have some conversations with people about their comp preps and like, wow, I didn't even think of that. I'm like, don't you have a nutrition coach? They're like, yeah, but we don't talk about this sort of stuff. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
You get into the nitty gritty.
yeah, for sure. It's exciting.
Practical.
Cool.
Cool.
It's a
we'll leave it there.
long-winded sales pitch, but yeah. Thank you very much, Jordan.
Thanks for
Thank
coming
you.
on.
Thanks for having me.
Introduce yourself. We'll do some more in the future on actual topics, I'm sure.
Yep.
And
More nutrition stuff. She got thrown under the bus, didn't know that we were recording this podcast today.
I just thought I was coming here to work with Mikki, and then she's like, we're recording. And I was like, oh, God.
Love it. All right. Thanks very much.
catch up.
Bye.
Red hot. Thank you for listening to Nexus Unloaded. Be sure to jump on our website to find details on everything mentioned on today's podcast, plus information on our coaching, mentoring, and gym services. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at NexusPerformance.Aus for any updates on what we are currently doing. See you all in the next episode.